phases of the moon. Have you observed the moon at night? Do you wonder about its changing shape? The moon is the Earth's only natural satellite. As you know, the moon has no light of its own. It reflects the light of the sun. If you observe the shape of the moon for a month, you will see that the shape of the moon changes regularly. The moon follows a regular cycle of increasing, gaining full shape, decreasing, disappearance, and increasing once again. Before we go further, there are some facts about the moon you need to know. The moon is 384,400 kilometers away from the Earth. The moon takes 29.53 days to complete one revolution around the Earth. It also takes almost the same time to complete one rotation around its axis. Only one side of the moon is visible from the Earth. This is because the moon takes almost the same time to complete one rotation around its axis and complete one revolution around the Earth. In reality, the shape of the moon does not change. Only the size of the portion of the moon which is illuminated by the sun changes. The changing illumination of the surface of the moon is known as the phases of the moon. The phases of the moon are determined by the position of the sun, moon, and earth. The lunar cycle begins with the new moon, when the moon is in the same direction as the sun. The side of the moon facing the earth is dark, as it does not receive any light from the sun. The night of the no moon is called the new moon night or the Amavas. From the next night, the size of the moon seen from the earth increases gradually. When less than half of the moon is illuminated, it is called a crescent moon. By the first quarter, the moon moves further away in its orbit, and at this point, it is at right angles with the sun. Half a moon is visible from the earth 1 week after the new moon night. When more than half of the moon is illuminated, it is called a gibbous moon. The shape of the moon changes from a sickle shape to a perfect bright circle in 2 weeks' time. This increase in the size of the moon is called waxing of the moon. The perfect circular moon is seen 2 weeks after the new moon. It is called the full moon or Purnima. On the full moon night, the earth comes between the moon and the sun, and the whole moon is illuminated by the sun, making it visible from the earth. After the full moon night, the part of the moon illuminated by the sun begins to reduce again. The reducing of the size of the moon as seen from the earth is called waning of the moon. by the last quarter, the moon again moves further away in its orbit, and at this point it is at right angles with the sun. Half a moon is visible from the Earth 3 weeks after the new moon night. In 4 weeks, the shape of the moon changes from a perfect bright circle to a sickle shape to disappearing altogether, so that by the end of the month, it is new moon night once again. The phases of the moon impact the life on Earth significantly. Apart from providing varying light at night, the waxing and waning of the moon also play a crucial role in deciding the height of the ocean tides. The combined gravitational pull of the sun and the moon controls the daily rise and the fall of the ocean's tides. Interestingly, the pull of the moon is stronger than that of the sun, even though the sun is much bigger than the moon. This is because the moon is nearer to the Earth. When the moon and the sun fall in a line with the Earth and exert a combined force, spring tides occur. That is, higher high tides and lower low tides. Meanwhile, when the lunar and solar forces are least coincidental, that is, the sun and the moon are at a right angle, neap tides occur, which have smaller tidal range. The knowledge of the phases of the moon is important for fishermen and seafarers. Based on precise observation of the moon's position, the fishermen and seafarers can prepare themselves for high and low tides. This way, they can figure out the best times to go into the sea.